obviously something is happening somewhere, and it just makes me wonder, like, if you're getting so much money, why would you still be doing
what I'm doing
that?
Is I'm challenging people to actually think about the world in which we live and the words that we use, because words have power, words matter, especially when we use those words to define an entire group or section of humanity.
Oh my
God. If it melts your shoes, what do you think it's gonna do to your feet? Like, bro, like, no. Why would you do that? Embellish. Like, make it like I slayed a dragon and shot the guy down the street. There's no way that they can take that and use that as evidence, because clearly dragons don't exist.
I'm done with you. Into the outro. Wow. What the is the goddamn intro? Hey guys, Besa Gordon here. It is Wednesday, so you already know my buddy JC is back from the OVT Network. Today we are talking about Young Thug, and according to JC, all humans are homosexual. Or maybe that's what he's meant. You know, JC can be a little bit of a troll, so I have a feeling that he actually meant something else, but we're gonna let you all find out what he meant by that in a little bit, okay? So I feel like the first topic for today, which is, you know, Young Thug, and basically should rap lyrics be able to be, used in court? I've talked about this before with myself, but I just think it'll be so much better to, you know, have a conversation with somebody else about it, especially someone that's actually down in Atlanta, in terms of what you think about this whole situation. So as you guys know, Young Thug is literally in jail right now on multiple racketeering charges. Gunna is in there too. If I'm not mistaken, he's facing like 40 freaking years from the freaking racketeering, and he's constantly getting new charges. Now, with these new charges, a lot of them are coming in because the Fulton County D.A. is actually using their rap lyrics, which it kind of goes into what we talked about last week. Like, just like we were saying earlier, these artists are literally putting what they're doing, allegedly, into their rap lyrics. And then when they somehow, some way have these dots connected, they're like, I didn't really mean that. So basically, if you don't get accused of this, you're supposed to come out and basically be a rapper that's been rapping about things that he wasn't really doing the whole time. Like, is that what you're trying to admit?
Right. I am one of those people. I'm just like, listen, all right, I'm all for artistic expression and all that good crap. But also, like we talked about on the last episode, I'm just kind of like, when I was talking to the kids, and I'm like, okay, so now you have the guns and the money and sometimes drugs, or what seems to be drugs, on your Instagrams. And I'm like, so, and it's public. And so the hip hop police are not a new thing. Like, the hip hop police have been around since hip hop with gangsta, essentially. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, at what point do we, like, what's the what here? Like, when do we stop incriminating ourselves? Like, I mean, or if you're going to incriminate yourself, do it better. Like, embellish. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, maybe instead of saying, like, you know, I shot him on 5th Street, December 27th, 1990, you know, whatever. Say, you know, he may have gotten shot on a street that, you know, is after 4, but before 6 on September. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, can we talk around the thing? Like, why are you actually putting all of your business out there for everyone to hear? Like, it doesn't make.
Let alone sometimes actually adding their names into it.
You're going to add the name of your victim that nobody knew and how he died. That was also not a public thing. You see how this is? It's just, did nobody watch SVU? Like, what are we doing right now? Like,
I definitely watched it, and I also watched First 48 for a little bit.
There's two, like, and they keep doing it. Like, I just, like, somebody in the comments was like, rappers, oh, snitching is whack. Then goes on rap music and snitch on themselves. Like, that's literally what happens. And I'm confusion. I don't.
Well, one person that's not confusion is the DA, okay, Fulton County DA. She's like, what you're not gonna do is sit here
Big
and
mama
make me
energy.
think I'm crazy, okay? Like, what you're not gonna do is literally write in your notebook, I did this, and then get mad at me when I freaking tell you to go stand in the corner.
Right,
That's what she's basically saying out here, okay?
Wait. Is you gonna play that? Are you gonna play it?
You know what? Let's play that right now. We was gonna
Yeah,
play something else, but I just feel like
that's classic.
I feel like you guys already know what these charges are, okay? So we're just gonna get into what Big Mama has.
I'm just here for her.
She's over it.
I'm not targeting anyone, but however, you do not get to commit crimes in my county and then decide to brag on it, which you do that for a form of intimidation and to further the gang and not be held responsible. One of the lyrics used in this indictment, just one of the lyrics, is me and my crew striking out, striking in all black. Send me the drop, we'll kick in the house. If we steal a car, we're gonna take off the tag. Well, they kicking indoors, committing home invasions, and now I'm using those lyrics that they're admitting to doing that. I'm gonna continue to do that. People can continue to be angry about it. I have some legal advice. Don't confess to crimes on rap lyrics if you do not want them used, or at least get out of my county.
She is my spirit animal.
Or at least get out of
Or at least do it in DeKalb. Don't do it in Fulton. Do it in Cobb. Don't do it in Fulton. Do it in Do it in Riverdale. Don't do it in Fulton. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I got time.
Somebody was like, she's giving big, like, you know, what your mom used to say, I'm not one of your little friends energy. Like, and I feel it like all day. Like, I was just like,
You know what? I really feel like she's giving that auntie energy where it's like the mama's always letting the kid get away with something. The kid takes candy from the store. The kid gets in a fight at school, and the mama's always like, "Oh, it's fine. They mean no harm." Da, 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 da. She's like, "I don't have time for this. I got time. I'm not your mama, and you're not gonna sit here and do this in my backyard. Have you lost your mind? No, you don't get any candy for dinner."
And she has a point. Like, I'm all for artistic expression, but at what point does artistic expression and like crime, like, when does it start and stop? Like, it's such a thin line. And I hate how, like, everybody always points out that in hip hop we're the only ones that are, or the hip hop community is the only community that has this happen, like has their lyrics used against them. And it's like, well, the hip hop community is also the only community that actually, you know, openly talks about different types of crimes on their lyrics repeatedly over and over and over and over again. And it's like, again, how you can rap about anything that you want, like literally anything under the sun. And you keep rapping about the crimes that you commit. And I'm just like, and you're too specific. You're not even general. Like, you're actually, like I said, 6th Street, September 27th, 1987, threw him in the trunk. Then I dumped him in Piedmont Park behind the 3rd dugout. Like, no, you're too specific, bro. Like, what are we doing right now? Like, this is when keeping it real goes wrong. Like, this is literally the prime example of when keeping it real goes wrong. And I'm just like, oh, well.
And again, it's like, now that you've kept it so freaking real, you're in there saying, I didn't really mean that. I didn't really do that. But it's like, you were just running around talking about, we really talk about what we do. And I feel like Young Thug has like a lyric somewhere where he says that he pays his lawyer a whole bunch of money. And he always gets him off. That's why he doesn't really have to do time.
Well, damn.
You know.
and okay, so like,
they've been looking at his lyrics for a minute.
So we talked about this off air, and I was just like, all right, I live in Atlanta. And I've lived here a very long time. And I also was in the nightclub industry, right? Like, I was a promoter. And so whatever them white folks say that Young Thug did, he did. Okay, like, I can't I really hate, I'm not one to be like, yo, I abolished the prison system, I'm an abolitionist, all of the things. However, I was there at the club the night that Lil Wayne's tour bus got shot up, when he was beefing with Young Thug. Like, I've been in space with Thug and that crew, and everyone hates it because they always bring so much, like, animosity, Atlanta, but they always bring so much like animosity and like violence, and they're just like this crazy group of people that don't look like they bathe. It's like, I'm just like, bro, like, we used to really hate whenever we had him in it got to a point where he was actually banned from one or two of the clubs because of the behavior. That's what I'm saying. So like, if you're from Atlanta, like, like whatever them white folks said that Thug did, he probably did, and then some. Like, just for his sake, I just hope they don't find out all of it. But like, yeah, nah, it's pretty bad. So
interesting. It's really, really sad because it's like in hip hop, the whole point is to be able to rap about your life.
Right.
But then at what point do you consciously pick and choose what you put into this music? And then also, like, do you know anything about like the statute of limitations when it comes to these lyrics?
Right. At least wait until after, with the exception of murder, obviously, but at least wait until after the statute of limitations has ran dry, and then just maybe talk about it, but still change up stuff. Don't do exactly the maybe
fabricate some of it a little bit.
Yeah, it could be based on a true story, but not actually be the story and still be true. Like, you can do all of the things.
Like, maybe if you said you took the shoe, maybe you really said, I took her heels. I don't know.
Right. It was Cinderella. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was a glass slipper. It wasn't a Jimmy Choo. It was a glass slipper. Like, nobody but that's the point. Like, it's like,
it doesn't have to be so literal.
I hate that it happens to us, but also like, we're like, and then at what point, like, Young Thug, I don't know his current activities. Let me not say that. I'm not going to speculate on that. I'm not going to add fuel to the fire. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is, back when we were working in a situation where we had to be in concert and space with these people, they were still actively, quote unquote, about that life. And so I'm like, at what point do you transition out of thug life into I have millions of dollars life? Right? Like, why do you still need to feel that you need to be a part of that world and that industry when you are doing so well over here? And well, that could, let me shut up because I know music business. But that's
I was about to say that could be debatable. And honestly, it makes me wonder if that's why. Because think about it. All these freaking years, people have been bugging Rihanna for a new freaking album. Meanwhile, Rihanna's the youngest billionaire in America right now. Right. And she did not become a billionaire dropping music.
She did not. Right.
Like, whatsoever. And, even with Jay-Z, he didn't get his money like that dropping music. Right. And, I'm pretty sure Beyonce, same thing. I'm pretty sure Diddy, same thing. Kanye West, definitely. For me, it's like, what else is Young Thug and Gunna doing to make it to where they could still make whatever amount of money that they would be making if they weren't dealing with these drugs? Because from what I don't even remember where the news clip was, but apparently Young Thug allegedly convinced some like prison nurse to sneak in pounds of marijuana into the freaking jail. Okay. So it's like, obviously something is happening somewhere, and it just makes me wonder, like, if you're getting so much money, why would you still be doing that? Why would you still be taking those chances? And furthermore, why would you not find a way to make yourself so far removed from it
right,
where it's
you ain't gotta get your hands dirty? Like, you don't have to get your hands dirty at this point. Like, you are way up here. You have people down here for that. Like, it doesn't have to be connected to you at all if you do it the correct way. And I just think that
like, how are you not ghosting this?
Like, why you don't have to go to the trap anymore, Thug. You don't have to be there. It is not required. Your presence isn't it. You've done the work. You've done the time. Now it's time to be an OG and relax over there with your money and the music.
Shoot, he might be relaxing somewhere. Might not be comfortably with his money, but
currently Cobb and/or Fulton County Jail. Like that, I just don't do it in her county. Like, she said what she said. Like, I'm not even like.
We're gonna play that one more time and then get commercial. Hold on, because I'm with Auntie. Honestly, like, how you gonna tell on yourself and then get mad?
Right. Like, man.
I'm not targeting anyone, but however, you do not get to commit crimes in my county and then decide to brag on it, which you do that for a form of intimidation and to further the gang and not be held responsible. One of the lyrics used in this indictment. Just one of the lyrics is, me and my crew striking out, striking in all black. Send me the drop, we'll kick in the house. If we steal a car, we're going to take off the tag. Well, they're kicking indoors, committing home invasions, and now I'm using those lyrics that they're admitting to doing that. I'm going to continue to do that. People can continue to be angry about it. I have some legal advice. Don't confess to crimes on rap lyrics if you do not want them used, or at least get out of my county.
I really just appreciate the I said what I said of it all. People can be mad and people can continue to be mad. I'm going to continue to do it. And if you want me to stop, then you should stop. It's just kind of like one of those, it's just, and then also let me say this too, because it's one of those things where ever since the pandemic, when us in Houston were literally like the only things open in the country, there I will honestly say that it opened up a lot of people that may not have like seriously thought about Atlanta, or it brought a lot of people to the city. And that is a good and bad thing, you know what I'm saying? Like, because you bring different energies and people come, you can't go outside in wherever you at. You can't go outside in Chicago, but you can go outside in Atlanta. So everybody come to Atlanta. So the people that you got beef with in Chicago are in Atlanta, and you in Atlanta. So I mean, time and opportunity kind of situation. So I do notice that there has been an uptick in crime ever since the pandemic and ever since everybody started coming here. But that's just kind of like one of those things that I think happens with whenever people come together. So I don't want to put it all on like and make it seem like it's just Young Thug and his gang doing whatever else. But what I will also say is whatever them white folks say that he did. And I can't, I'm not going, yeah.
It's just the reality of the matter.
And I'm saying white folks because, historically speaking, police are white. I'm well aware that this is a black woman. Over half of Atlanta PD is black. I get the optics of it, but historically speaking, them white folk is people that be locking black people up. So that's why I'm saying it like that. So
hashtag y'all know what I mean.
Y'all know what I mean. Y'all know what I mean.
Well, that being said, you guys, we are going to go to a quick commercial break. And when we come back, we are going to play JC's most recent video, which is all humans are homosexual.
Yeah.
He said what he said.
Is that what I said?
Hey y'all, my name is Nicole Harvey and I proudly serve as the Director of Community and Family Engagement at Seattle Jazz Ed, and I'm here to let y'all know that we're getting to launch our fall programming the first week of October. So if you're a student or you know a student between the grades 4 through 12 that is interested in playing music, whether they're a beginner or they've been playing for a long time, we have saved a seat for you. For more information, please visit our website at www.seattlejazzed.org. All of our programs and classes are offered on a sliding scale tuition policy, which means that families get to choose what they pay, no questions asked. We also have free loaner instruments available for every student to use. If you have questions, you're welcome to contact us via email or by phone at programs@seattlejazzed.org or 206-324-5299.
Back to the Rewind with Besa.
The things that don't make it on the show.
Anyway, things that don't make it on the show, but they might make it about a year or so down the line. JC recently dropped a new video. Do you drop like 3 videos a week, or like how often do you drop videos?
Anywhere from 5 to 10 videos Monday through Friday, twice a day, 1 to 2 times per day. So yeah, it's pretty regular.
Okay. We're gonna have to talk about like TikTok schedules at some point.
Mm-hmm.
However, the recent video is all humans are homosexual. So I'm gonna let you intro this video before we play it.
Okay, so basically, I did a little research. If you guys don't know, you can go to my company Instagram, which is going to be at the OVT Network. Right there. And so basically what I did was I released a video about a week or two ago on homosexuality and its origins. And I'm not talking about actual same-gender relationships or same-sex relationships. I'm talking about the actual origin of the word homo and heterosexuality. And so I was doing research and I found out some things, and that led to this video, which we can play now, and I'll talk a little bit more about it. Hi! The Latin word for human is homo. The Latin word for different is hetero. And the Latin word that pertains to both the male and female species of the human race is sexist. So if you are a human that has sex with other humans, you are a homosexual. And so it's my favorite part. That's my sister's favorite part. Every time she sees it, she be like, So yeah, basically, it's just literally basic etymology. If you look at the Latin words, like any medical terms that we have are rooted in our language in general. The English language is half Germanic, half Romantic, right? Romantic languages all stem from Latin. Okay, so if you look at the root words, as I said, homo in Latin means human. Hetero in Latin means different or other. And sexist, we'll break that down. Sexual is an adjective of the word sex, which can be traced back to the Latin word sexus, which literally means a division or a section, right? So when we juxtapose that for humanity, it literally means both sexes, which is why if you look on an application and it says sex, it'll ask you male or female, because that word in and of itself means both, and you have to elect which one. So when you begin to break down the etymology of the word homosexual, it makes no sense because it just means literally human of both sexes. That's what it means. That has nothing to do with your actual sexual orientation, which is the correct way to actually ask or talk about someone's sexual preference, is sexual orientation. Because of what I just said, sexist being both, orientation meaning what you would like to do. In this case, pun intended, not intended. So that is the actual correct way to use this. But like the word homosexual in and of itself was created by Carl. I'm going to read it. It was created in 1868 by Carl Maria Kurt Benny, and was later popularized by Richard von Krafft-Ebing 20 years later in 1888. And the interesting part about this is all within the same century, give or take a few years, of the Nazi occupation of Germany. And if anybody knows anything about the Nazis, is they were always looking for a really good way to separate people and, kill them. So I just find it very interesting that all of these things kind of line up together. And it forces you to take a look at it. It's all kind of like pseudoscience. And pseudoscience has harmed a lot of people, Black people, especially when it comes to America, like doctors believing that we have thicker skin and we can tolerate more pain, or just little I'm not going to say little things because these are huge things, but just things that have harmed people and have been purported to be science. Like white supremacy in and of itself is a pseudoscience, right? And the thing about white supremacy or any form of oppression is usually it doesn't stand up to water. It doesn't hold its own. It doesn't hold weight, doesn't hold water. It doesn't stand up to simple and direct examination. And that's just, whenever I make these videos, this is what I'm doing, is I'm challenging people to actually think about the world in which we live and the words that we use, because words have power, words matter, especially when we use those words to define an entire group or section of humanity. So that's all I'm doing. I'm a troll. I'm a troll, but I troll for the right reasons. I'm a troll for the human race. So I troll for the right reasons. But yes, so that's pretty much it. And I can list all the sources that I use to actually compile this information. I saw something that said, if a Capricorn says, first of all, run away, because they have charts, they have research, they have data. And I do. So like whenever I say fight me, or whenever I literally mean it, you can if you would like. You probably won't win. But just debate me if you would like. I'm always open for debate. I'm always open for respectful debate and conversation. But yeah, you're not gonna I don't like the way that we as people we just blindly use and allow these things to control our life. And like I said, as humans, Our ability to tell stories is what separates us from other animals, because it allows us to organize. It allows us to group. It allows us to plan. It allows us to literally live our lives. So words are important. Words matter. That's all.
So would you say that with that, most of the English language technically doesn't make any sense?
Ooh, I wouldn't go that far. It is probably the most bastardized of any language, period. And by bastardized, I mean it takes from literally everything. Every single language on the planet is somehow infused into this language that we speak. So I would say that it's the most diluted. It's the most, if you will, mutt of a language. But I don't know if I would say that one.
Okay. Mm-hmm. I am curious though.
Okay.
To know what kind of responses that you've been getting after this video.
So it's really funny because my sister actually sent me a message on Instagram and she saw it and she was like, it's diverse. And I was like, I sent her a screenshot of the word sexist and the meaning of it in Latin. And so she called me with one of her coworkers. Now she said that her coworker was a Latin like professor or student or something like that. And so he begins by saying, you know, the common things. Well, homo means same, blah, blah, blah. And I said, well, actually, homos, the word HOMOS, actually does mean same. It's a Greek word. But in right around the like, don't give me, I'm not going to do time frames because that is a whole bunch of things. But there was a guy named Cassius or Celsus who actually, to make the study of medicine more simple, he took Latin and fused it with Greek. And so that's medical terms are a mixture of both Greek and Latin words, right? And so the word homos does indeed mean same, but sexual is still the etymology that is rooted in Latin, and it literally means both sexes. So the word literally translated is same of both sexes or same both sexes. And so either one of these things does not, again, relate to sexuality in terms of who a person would prefer to spend their life with. None of these things mean that. There is a quote from H. Havelock Ellis in Studies of Psychology, published 1897, in which he says, the word homosexual is a barbarously hybrid word, and I claim no responsibility for it. Meaning it doesn't translate. It's not, it doesn't make any sense. It's a very basic translation that actually does not work. And that's what he was, this is what was said, like once the work that Kraft Ebing published and became popular. This is literally what this person, this professor, this other person says is like, yo, this don't make no sense. And I don't want no parts of it. So yeah, that's kind of the response.
That becomes so adapted then. Like if you have people that are literally saying it doesn't make any sense, but yeah, we've used it for so long and it doesn't make any sense.
Well, we haven't used it. We've used it for, let's see, 1888. We've used it for a little over 150 years. So it hasn't been like in the general scheme of things, that word hasn't existed in anybody's lexicon that long. It seems like a long time for us, but that's only like what, 4, 5, 6 generations maybe. So it hasn't existed that long. But I just feel like human beings have a desire to name things. We want to classify. Like that is just naturally in our DNA. That's naturally what we do. And so this human beings that are queer have been demonized since right around the 12th century, when the Catholic Church decided that it wanted to enforce gender roles. Gender roles, They wanted to enforce gender roles. They wanted to enforce gender hierarchy, and they finally wanted to start demonizing certain behaviors inside of the church to quote unquote structure it, if you will. And like I said, this is all very basic, very Googleable information. I have sources, all of the things. I never say anything without doing adequate research on it. But yeah, this has been, you know, Christianity has been around for the better part of 3,500 years. And it took them 2,800 years to actually start condemning, if you will, same gender or same sex relations. It was a point in life where priests would openly write sonnets or write love letters or express their love for other priests or other men in general. So like this is not anything that is new. The hatred or the engendering of hatred for the LGBTQIA plus negative sign ampersand to the second power community, that's new. So yeah.
Random question.
Sure.
With conversations like how words like that don't necessarily technically make sense, and then also being in the age where people would rather be classified by they and them, do you think that at some point all of this will be just washed out, especially with things like the metaverse coming in, and then just everything is just becoming like a wash?
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, do you think that at some point they're just not going to want anything to be classified anymore?
Once upon a time, it was like that. And I can't speak for any other culture. I can only speak specifically for like the continent of Africa, because that's where a lot of my research goes into, because I love Black people and I love being Black. But, before the interruption of white folk and colonization on the continent, there were actually numerous cultures of tribes of people that did not have gendered language. They always referred to a person either by their name, or they would say they or them, right? And so we don't see gendered language, i.e. he and she, in a lot of cultures and a lot of tribes on the continent until colonization happens. So I'm assuming that if it happened on the continent, then it was happening in other parts of the world as well, where it just wasn't, how you appeared wasn't such a big deal. It was more about how you were as a human being and less about your appearance and all of those factors. So yeah, I feel like it would be nice to. I'm not even going front. Like I'm queer. I'm part of the LGBTQIA plus elemental P community, and like I just say that because every time I turn around, white people add letters to it. They do, and symbols. I'm like, is this an acronym or a algebraic equation? Like, let's figure it out. But I have trans friends, and it's still a struggle for me sometimes to not use gendered language, because it is something that we've grown up with. It's something that's very natural and normal to us at this point. So it would be nice, like, and it's simply respectful. As I said in one other video, it's like, if you can call Lil Baby or Da Baby, one of them children, if you can call them by the name that they would like to be called, then it's not that hard to not use she or he when talking about someone. It's really not. It's a matter of like your personal comfortability level, but your personal comfortability level doesn't really matter or factor in when it's something of a respect thing for you to just like, see a person and acknowledge the person's humanity. Like that doesn't really factor in. Like what does it kill you to not use the word he or she when describing a person? It doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt. So
it really doesn't.
We got deep.
Man, everyone, you know how I do. It would be one.
We got like, deep. We got deep.
Take a quick left turn, real quick.
We got deep. We got deep. You got the right person. This all I do is like I always say, like, if I went to school formally, like, and got a degree, it'd probably be in anthropology, because I love humanity. I love history. I love learning about us as a people, like completely. Like everybody, I just love learning. I love knowledge. I love all of the things that attribute itself to like higher learning. So like this is me all day. Like I got facts, figures, I got random things in my head that I can talk about. We be texting and I'd be like, oh yeah, by the way, that goes into this. And you'd be like, huh? Yeah. I'm like,
let me Google this. Hold on. All of a sudden I'm like that little cat that'd be like, what? Is there anything else that you want to say on this topic? Or I mean, we definitely went. we took a left, and then went this way, and then went down the slope. So.
I don't know anything else I'd like to say on this topic. I just want to reiterate that words matter. Like words actually matter. Like I'll say it again. One of the things that separates human beings from other animals, because we are animals, we're just on the top of the food chain. One of the things that separates us from other animals is our ability to storytell, right? Is our ability to imagine, is our ability to create things that literally aren't there. And so in doing that, we use words. We use language, right? It's highly sophisticated. All of the languages in the world are highly sophisticated forms of communication. So words matter. The things that you say matters. How you say them, why you say them matters. And so it's just kind of like Jay-Z said, question religion, question faith, question it all. Like, don't ever just take anything at face value. Like, if it doesn't feel right to you, if it doesn't seem like it is right, if you question it, then if you're curious about it, then actually do the work and the due diligence to find out what it is or why this resonates or vibrates with you in this way. Like, that's my thing. Words matter. So use them wisely.
And then also just feel free to not tell anybody. You know how much
Bruh,
stuff I Google and I don't
keep
tell
your
everybody?
mouth shut.
Right?
Like, you don't, like, I don't know what y'all little boys and girls and people, non-gender conforming folk, y'all put everything on the internet. Like, I'm old. Like, I'm from the old school. I don't put nothing that I don't want you to see on the internet.
And then it's like you literally can find, like, say someone did as much research as you did today, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they put it on the internet, and then there was a bunch of people that were like, "No, that's not right," and it's like you could have just did all that research and minded your damn business.
Right?
You over here confused and you don't know what to believe because you got a whole bunch of people that didn't even do a quarter of the research that you just got done doing.
And this is me every day. Like, this is literally like my sister was on the phone with her friend, and it's funny. And he was like, "Did you study medicine or law?" And I was like, "No, not really." And my sister was like, "No, he studies everything. Anything that matters to him, anything that he's curious about, he will research it for days. So he might not have went to school, but he studied." And I was like, "Get him, sis." Like,
okay. She's
Shout
like, let me correct you.
Right. Shout out to Vita. Shout out to Vita. Slay girl.
He studies life, period. All right. You know, one day we need to get like a meteorologist. Those are the people that are like, that they do like weather and
the weather.
Like
okay, meteorologist. Yeah.
I'm curious about what the heck is going on in China. I'm curious about, I want to say, is it
global warming?
Yes, but they also created a fake sun.
Listen, we need to leave China alone. Just let them be. Leave China alone. Listen, Nancy Pelosi and them going over to Taiwan. No, that ain't our business. That ain't our business. There's plenty of water for us to drink here. We need to drink it and mind our business. Like, bruh, like, no.
Literally, a dude's flip-flops were melting.
Wow. Okay.
I'm not even trying to laugh, but he's sitting down, his flip-flops start melting, and then he takes them off. Poor thing. He puts his feet on the ground and he jumps up off the ground.
Why would you put your feet on the ground, bro? If it's melting your flip-flops and your sandals, what do you think it's going to do to your skin?
I don't think he knew what to do.
Like, why would you do that?
What is he going to do? Just sit there
Why
with
would
his
you
feet
do
up?
that? There goes the Asian stereotypes about everybody being smart, because that was the dumbest thing that you could do. Like, why would you do that? Why would you do that? Why?
Hell. I sent you the video.
How? How you gonna take your shoes off and step on the ground when it's melting your flip-flops? How? Like, yo, like what? Like, what that mean? Like, why would you do that? Like, that makes no sense. Like, why would you do that? Like, okay.
Oh my God.
I'm mind blown right now. Like,
if I can edit it in time,
why would you do that? That's a horrible idea.
Oh my God.
If it melts your shoes, what do you think it's gonna do to your feet? Like, bro, like, no. Why would you do that?
And then he like ripped off. Oh my, that is so not funny, but damn.
No, it's hilarious. You're stupid. You dumb. Like, no, it's funny. Like, no, laugh. It deserves to be laughed at. Like, no. Like, why would you do that? Like, no. Yeah, no. It's melting my shoes. So let me just take them off. Like, no. And so, like, why would you do that? Like, no. Why? Why would you do that? That's not okay. People be dumb, bro. Like, people are dumb. Oh my God, people so dumb. They be so stupid.
Let me tell y'all something. My face hurts. We gonna go to a commercial break. And when we come back, we gonna wrap up today's episode. Lord.
I'm past patiently waiting, I'm passionately passion every expectation, every action's an act of creation. I'm laughing in the face of casualties and sorrow. For the first time I'm thinking past tomorrow. And I am not throwing away my shot. I am not throwing away my shot. Hey, yo, I'm just a I'm not stuck in, I'm not
eating that roof, Chris. Short temper, so you know I'm kinda ruthless. Bad class, roll one, time to elevate. Yeah, part-time smoker when I medicate. Big step, a couple hoes up in the Dino. Fly 'em out to Vegas, couple just in the casino. Mean rep, I had to earn it, others buy it, money burning. I work harder, I deserve it. You a groupie, you a bird. I'm a
Ooh,
So I
Besa.
might as well confess to this now. I definitely got a video of you dancing in the background.
That's
I'm
funny.
gonna send it to you later.
I was looking at this. I was like, "Ooh, Besa got some pretty breasts. I like them. They look nice in the back."
Thank you.
You know what
I
I'm
was
saying?
blessed with them, you know.
It was just good. Good.
You know. God did that one.
Yeah, you did that. You did that. Sometimes some people be like, whenever I comment on women, they be like, "Really? You see that?" I'm like, I'm gay, not blind. Like, what is wrong with you? Like, what the?
I mean,
There you go. I like dudes. I'm not blind. Like, what is this? What's the what here? Like, no, bro. Like, no.
and that's definitely not getting edited out. JC, remind everybody of where they can find you at on social media, and especially where they can see all of your videos.
Cool. I is on the TikToks, the Instagrams. I'm on all of the things at the OVT Network. Once again, that's the OVT Network. You can find everything there. Like I said, I post pretty regularly, pretty frequently, like twice a day, sometimes 3, depending on what's in the canon. But like at least you're gonna get something at least once every day, Monday through Friday. So yeah, hit me up. I'm around.
And of course, you guys know you can find me on social media at Besa Gordon. So of course, until next episode, when I see you guys tomorrow, make sure that you keep your energy high. And you guys already know JC will be back with us on Friday. So until next time, have an amazing rest of your day.
Yes. Words matter. Words matter. That's it. That's all I got.
And they also matter enough to where they can get you locked up like your
Listen. That's the tweet. That's the tweet. Stay. Do it in another county.
Do it another, or get out my county.
Get out my county. At least don't rap about it. That's what she said. Don't rap. Not September 6th, Black Shoe, 87th Street. No, make it more general. If you're gonna talk about the crimes that you've committed, embellish. Like, make it like I slayed a dragon and shot the guy down the street. There's no way that they can take that and use that as evidence, because clearly dragons don't exist.
I'm done with you. Going to the outro. Wow. Where the is the goddamn intro?